Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. My name is Mitchell and today we're going to be talking about the behind the scenes of the cinematic POV video that we uploaded a couple of days ago. If you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend you go and do that because otherwise this video won't make much sense. We traveled around Oregon and Washington with our friend and fellow YouTuber Aidin Robbins. In this video, we're going to be talking about the rig, what it was like to shoot, some frequently asked questions, and the post-production. So at the moment we are shooting the morning waking up scene. We're gonna chop it up into 3 different sections. So he's gonna wake up, that's gonna be one section. Right now we're filming the second section, which he comes over, like cracks his knuckles, puts the glasses on, and then goes down the stairs, throws the hoodie on, needle on the record, stokes the fire, and then heads out to the deck. First things first, let's get into probably the most important part of the video. That was the rig. Okay, so right here is our homemade cinematic POV camera rig. At its core, it is a motorcycle helmet. We got this helmet for free from our neighbors when they were getting rid of it at a garage sale. And as you can see, we've done our own aftermarket modifications. Now, the reason that this rig is so big and heavy duty is because we needed it to support this camera, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K, which weighs about 4 pounds. And in addition, we wanted it to also support a wireless video transmitter and a follow focus system. We thought we'd try getting the shot with Steven diving into the car when the car is actually moving, but as you can see, it didn't work out too well. So I think we're just gonna leave it, stick with the stationary car, and try not to break our camera. For the helmet, we drilled a hole right through the top here to hold this metal L bracket thing that then goes to a ball mount and then goes to the camera that is mounted upside down. The ball mount is really useful because it allows us to change the angle and make sure that everything is still level. One of the biggest things we wanted for this video was to be able to shoot with a low depth of field, like f2. Now, the Blackmagic doesn't have any autofocus on it at all, so that's why we added the wireless focus puller. Having a low aperture separates our video from one shot unlike a GoPro or a DSLR with a really high aperture like f22. A shallow depth of field gives a very realistic image and it is closer to how your eyes actually work. With that being said, having a low aperture and no autofocus means you need a separate person to actually pull focus. Now that's why we made this contraption right here. This gets the video signal right here with the wireless video transmitter, transmits it all the way to a monitor where you can see a live feed of what's actually being shown on the camera. Meanwhile, they can pull focus and get focus throughout the entire shot. In classic TMS fashion, we didn't finish building this rig until the night before we were leaving on the trip. Now, we knew it worked, but we didn't know if we were missing anything or if we were gonna run into any issues. Now, thankfully, the only issues that we did come across were having connection issues between the focus puller wheel and the focus puller on the camera, and also just the absurd amount of batteries this thing would go through. We would take up like every outlet in the Airbnb just to keep everything charged. Another issue we had was just being able to hear each other and communication because Steven would often be unable to hear us with the motorcycle helmet on.
Don't know if you guys could see, but that's Steven right there.
Look at you go. Did you sail boats when you were little?
Yeah, okay, don't do any jokes, because the last thing I need is for you to be talking while I need to speak to you.
Someone is a bit tense.
Yeah, because, I don't know, I have a camera on my fucking head. Okay, constant communication is usually key. I can't hear what you say. Fishing, yes, no?
What? I did not hear what you said. I don't have a question.
Can I fish?
You fish with a fishing rod?
Can I fish?
We also quickly found out that our walkie-talkies didn't work. Also, something that we couldn't really avoid was just how awkward this thing was to move around and transport, with it being such an awkward shape. We carried this thing up mountains and into canyons and just pretty much anywhere to get the shot. Next, we're gonna go through some frequently asked questions that we've been asked throughout the entire trip and ones that you're probably asking us right now in the comments down below. First things first, was it heavy? Well, yeah, this thing weighs probably about 12.5 pounds, which gives your neck a serious workout. Believe me. Did it draw attention? Yes, it did. This thing, really? Like, how could this not draw attention? Some lady, when we were in the diner, interrupted the shot and asked us what the hell we were doing. And also, you can probably see this in the video, if you go back when we were skateboarding past the Apple store, there were people staring through the window, also wondering what the heck is on Steven's head.
So what are you guys? Yeah.
Wait a sec.
Can't say.
Lastly, how much footage did we shoot? For all you video nerds out there, we shot this entire thing in Blackmagic RAW 12:1 compression, which means we shot over the entire trip about 1.3 terabytes of footage for this project. Okay, so that is everything when it comes to the production side of this video. Those are all of our experiences and with what it was like to shoot with a rig like this. I'm gonna hand you guys over to Tommy, who's gonna take you guys through the post-production stage and everything it took to put this video together.
Now I'm gonna take you guys through the editing process for this project. We edited the film using Adobe Premiere Pro and After Effects. From the start, we knew that sound was gonna be one of the most important parts of the video. Because this is a first-person film, sound is vital for immersing the viewer into the environment, making it feel like they're actually there. It is also important for selling the entire POV experience. When we were actually shooting the POV video, we weren't able to record any of the live audio. This was mostly because we were giving Steven, our lovely actor, verbal cues and directions.
Grab the stick! That's good. That's so good.
It was also because we didn't want to put a microphone on the rig, further making it bigger than it has to be. So basically, we had to add every single sound you hear in the video in post. Now, if you were wondering where we got the sound effects and music from, they were all provided by Epidemic Sound. Epidemic Sound has been kind enough to sponsor this entire project, making this whole thing possible. They have an amazing selection of music, and most important to us, an extensive sound effects library. Many of the other music services we tried don't actually offer sound effects whatsoever, so this gives Epidemic Sound a leg up. They also have a really easy and convenient tagging system that helps you find the exact sound you're looking for. For example, in this sequence, I wanted to add a forest ambient sound effect. So I'll just type in forest, select a sound effect, and then click on ambience. Once I found the one I like, I simply download it and drop it in my timeline. And as you can hear, it's perfect. In all honesty, guys, Epidemic Sound is the first place we look when trying to find a new sound effect for our videos. If you want to try Epidemic Sound out for yourself, there's a link in the description for a 30-day free trial. Finally, we're gonna get into the most complicated VFX shot for the film, the mirror shot. This is where we had to make it look like Steven was looking into a mirror, but there was no camera in his reflection. For this, we needed two shots, one from Steven's perspective and one from the perspective of the mirror. First, I tracked the footage and then inserted the shot of Steven with no camera inside of the mirror. I then cut out the mirror frame as well as his hand going in front of the camera to finish off the effect. In total, this took me about 20 hours to complete. Okay, so that's all for this week. If you guys still haven't seen the POV video, I don't know why you're still watching this, but go check it out. There'll be a link in the description. As always, go follow us on Instagram at TMSproductions_. And again, if you would like a free 30-day trial of Epidemic Sound, go check out the link in our description. We'll see you guys next week.
Distracted driving?
I would think so.
I would say so.
I don't know what the rules are in Washington.